excellent connection, so I was confused. So I was calling, sorry. Okay. Okay, something we should probably look at then at some point. I'm killing a bunch of spiders in this room. I know, I see that. Okay, cool. I'll let you go. Okay, love you, bye. Okay, well, that was a fun beginning to my stream. But anyways, I love how this lid came out. It looks great. We'll get it attached as soon as, I'm gonna give it some days to cure so that it can do its thing. But water added some more little bits to it. We added the constellation over here, Big Dipper, Little Dipper. Other side, I will be changing it as well. Currently it's just black like this. So we'll be adding some fun splatter colors and whatnot so that we can, when we lift it, then we see the rainbow like that. So you guys can't see that. Okay, so when it's closed like this and you lift it, it will show the rainbow. But yeah, so this side will have a bunch of splatters and stuff until I can create a cushion to go on top of it. But this is one heck of a stuffy bench. It's huge, and I got it upstairs on my own and definitely shouldn't have. It's definitely a two-person job. So yeah, but yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna let this have a couple of days to cure. I'm gonna take it inside to give it that time. We're gonna work on something new today, something I've been wanting to do. I need to time myself for it. So let's get this inside and move on to my next thing. Okay. Okay, so today what we're gonna work on is two of these. That's what I wanna try and do on my business and sell. So let me grab them. I'm testing out the difference between the plywood of sanded ply and birch. So far, the thing about sanded ply that I have not enjoyed is the blowout from cutting and rounding or with the router. It's not great. So there's definitely a back and a front side to these in most senses, but the issue that I'm finding with birch in the store is that it comes and there's a lot of holes inside of these. So in like this here, we've got some holes here. We've got a kind of a smaller hole there. But in the plywood and the birch, there's a lot of it, like a ton of it. So I'm trying to, let's see here. So I'm trying to test if this makes more sense. It's also a lot cheaper than the birch is. It's about $30 cheaper. And that can make a big difference in a business when you're trying to also make sure that you're not overcharging people. But anyways, these look like controllers. Uh-oh, I did not see that tear out. So this will have to be the back, which means I'll have to deal with some of this here. Blowout, dang it. Okay, well, it is what it is. These are just testers anyways. I'm testing these ones for my older brother and his son and a family friend. So I'm just kind of changing these, or I'm just going to do them, test them, see how it works. I'm also going to try and see how long it takes me to sand and stain them and lace them up and everything and do the holes. But now that I'm looking at this, I can't put any string between this and this because of this hump. I'm not going to be able to get any drill bits through this in a straight manner to meet up. So that's a concern and something that I'm sure my husband tried to tell me and I ignored. But something that we're still going to test it out. We're still going to try it, see what happens. But like I said, I'm not going to be able to put any string here and here. So that means I either need to route this out. So what would that look like if I did that? Let's use this. Okay. So if I decided to, say, route this out like this, a little more straight, Christina, like that, would it still look like a controller? That's going to be the question. I mean, in the sense, yes, I think it still will look like a controller. So I think moving forward, I will have to take that bit off there so that I can do the string properly. I'm also not a huge fan of this size. I think they're a little on the small side, but that's my preference. So we're gonna do these ones, test them out, see what happens, see what my friend and my brother say, and then we'll go from there. So, let's see what we get. I might also just decide to cut one of them. I don't know, we'll see. Let's get the sander out. And well, that's one. Where is my specialty sander? I have a feeling it is somewhere that I do not expect it to be, like right here, in front of my face. Look at me go. Okay, so this one's a lot less loud, which is why I'm going to use it. I'm also going to use it because it's smaller. It can get into the divots a little bit better. Just a little bit. So, here we go. Also start this timer that I wanted. Oops, not that. Where's my timer? Timer. No, I want stopwatch. Reset. Start. Now we're going to do the inside. Same thing. So that's one done. That took me almost 4 minutes to sand, real quick. Not bad. Let's get this one done. So to sand both of those took me about 6 minutes. So the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna get our cheesecloth out. Okay. I'll have to get my bag for my cheesecloth. I can't find it. You always want to kind of have something to put it in because it is sticky, wet, folding yards. Grab some gloves because, again, it's sticky. It'll stick to your, oh, I forgot to do the outside. That'd be why it was so much shorter, right? Wipe down my table. I'm going to move these to the side for a second. Just set them down here so I can clean the table, and then we'll bring one back up at a time. So see, it's all dusty. I'm going to use my cleaning towel. We're just going to put it right on the floor. Yes, you could probably use a vacuum. Yeah, it probably would be better, but you know, I don't care right now because I can always clean the floor. So there's that. Usually I use my, when I'm looking for my sander next time, everybody can tell me it's just on my table. You know, that special place. Anyways, okay. So I'm gonna do a light dusting on here. Usually I use my paintbrush, the one that I use for cleaning. But for now, I'm just gonna do that. Okay, I'm gonna put that back on the counter. Grab my cheesecloth. Yeah, there's a lot of dust in the air now. Oh well. So I like to open my cheesecloth. You know, however you want, whatever makes you more happy. I do, again, recommend the gloves though, because it is sticky. Okay, so cheesecloth open. Then from here, I just kind of ball it up a little bit, because you're basically just running it on top. Yeah, you probably want to also do the insides. I kind of pat it. Basically what this cheesecloth is doing is it's trying to collect the dust inside. So from there, I just kind of, you know, ball it up again. We're gonna wipe the top and pat kind of the rest. I'm gonna do my table a little bit here so that we're completely correct in the dust here. There we go. Again, open it up and make it into another ball. Here we go. Pat inside, outside, like so, because you will stick it to the wood. Oops, you can't see that. You will stick it to the wood, so you want to be careful. You want to pat the outside, rub the top, like so, like that. And then again, use your opposite side. If it gets stuck on the wood, gently take it off. Try not to rip your wood at all, because it can just make it splinter more. Okay, so I'm finding that I do like the sanded ply. However, I'm not liking how splintery it is in places. So that's going to be a concern of mine moving forward and using it. I would rather just use a birch or something like that of higher quality, I think. But I can't get that at my local box store. I have to drive a couple of hours to get that at a different box store. Okay, so the next thing I need to do is, oh, excuse me. I definitely should wear a mask when I'm standing. There's a lot of dirt in the air now, or a lot of sand, or wood, there we go. Dust in the air. Okay, so I've got my husband's old undershirts here that I just used for stain rags. Now the stain that I'm going to use, it is colored, and it is also water-based, so I could technically clean these when I'm done with them. However, I do not do that. I just tend to, for cautious, you don't have to put it in a tin like you should with oil-based, but for caution, I like to put it in the tin just in case. I put it in with my gloves, anything that I might have used, and then I go ahead and discard it. If you don't know why you put oil-based specifically, stain rags into a bin, it's because when you give them a lot of oxygen, they can catch on fire and things like that if you're not careful. I have not had it happen to me. However, I do know that it's a thing, and so you just want to be a lot more cautious. So anyways, I have my space set up for putting my stained woods up there. We are 15 minutes in, so we're going to get started. I need to get my drill bits and got my driller ready. Just need to grab my drill bits. And then I need to grab the thing I'm going to be using. I'm going to be using this bungee cord. It's black, just straight black. I have a white and black, or I have this straight black. I like it. I also have wire and a couple other things. I'm also going to grab the two colors I need. So I need a red and I need blue. Where are you, blue? Purple. Oh, there it is. It's right on top. Okay. So these are the two colors. You can kind of see them there on the top. What the two colors are going to be. I've got barn red and marine blue. This is what we're going to do. So I'm going to take my bungee here. I've got it twisted in there. And I believe it is 1/8 inch. So we want about an 1/8 inch, if not slightly bigger, which would probably be that one. That one is gone and broken. Okay, so I think I'm still gonna stick with the 1/8 because it's bungee. It's gonna stretch, right? We're gonna test it out on one hole and see what we get. If that doesn't work, we'll go to a bigger bit. It's the best part about trial and error. However, we're also out of clock. So we're gonna make some holes in here. But I'm gonna make one. And we're gonna try and go all the way through here. I'm gonna go right in the corner. We wanna go as straight as possible. And we wanna go all the way through. And in the center as much as possible. Okay. Whoa, all the way through. That was very difficult for some reason. Okay, so we're gonna take the bungee really quick. We're going to test it. Okay, it looks like it will not at all start. So we have to be able to start it at least. So I'm going to get the bigger bit, even though it's probably gonna be way too big. But that's okay, because I don't have the medium one. So we'll go with this one. We're gonna go with 5:30 seconds. We're gonna go right through the same hole. There we go, just like that. Okay, I'm gonna do the same thing over here in this corner. I don't like to make them super matchy, but stop going up. Come on. I need you to stop moving. Stop that. Okay. I'm not sure why that's not working. And I need a step stool, so I'll be right back. Okay. I'm just slightly too short for this table. I'm doing this. So let's get this up, and we're gonna go to a completely different spot because I don't know what it's doing. Why are you going up? Wow. Okay, that is a lot harder than it should be. It's not usually this difficult to get a hole through this wood. So I'm not sure what's going on, but we're going to keep going. Why are you moving? Okay. Don't cut. Okay. My bit is sharp. I'm not sure why it's moving on me. I'm not sure what the heck is going on with this one. We're gonna move on over. See if we can't get this to work over here. Okay. You know what? We're gonna call my husband real quick. Can I call you? Waiting for a response. Give me just a minute here. Okay. We're gonna FaceTime my husband real quick. Oh, my hair. It's a bit crazy today. I washed it, that's probably why. Hello.
What?
I'm not sure this standard ply is working for me. No. So it took me probably a good 30 seconds to get that hole drilled. Also, the other part.
Shit.
No, they're still sharp. But the other part that I'm having trouble with is they're moving. So like, yeah. So look, I started there in the middle, and it moved. I have a feeling it's the sanded ply, because it did it here too on this other one.
Okay, hold that thought.
Okay.
So there are different drill bits that you can get that have like a super sharp point at the top of them.
Yeah. I mean, mine has a point.
No, it doesn't. Not like this. Yeah, that's not as sharp.
There we go. I was like, I can't get it to focus.
So let me see if I can find a picture of what I'm looking for.
Like the ones that have the screw at the top?
No, not like that. But they've got a very, very fine point at the top.
Okay.
And what those allow you to do is say, hey, the center of my hole needs to be right here.
Right.
Drill.
Okay.
So
is that similar to? Oh, hold on. I might actually have something like that. I actually might have those. I have this.
That's exactly what I'm looking for. Use that. If you got one that's the right size, use that.
I don't. This one is going to be too big. The only other one that I have is where it's like that, but it's a ball at the top.
Yeah, so that's not what you want. That's a countersink bit.
Yep. But I do have one of these. I just don't have the correct size for it.
Yeah. So
this is a Craig jig, I think. Craig one.
No, Craig is a little bit different, but either way, that's the type of drill bit that you're going to want to use for that. If it's camming out or it's not actually drilling in.
Okay.
The other thing that you can do, Christina, is, and this will take more time, but you've got everything that you need, drill a very small pilot hole first, because that tiny drill bit won't walk on you as much as the bigger ones will.
Okay.
So you can give that a shot too.
Okay. Yeah, because I started with the 1/8 inch, and that worked fine.
Yeah.
It took forever to get it through, but it was fine.
Is your drill run fast?
It's this one, but I control it.
Got it. Okay.
So.
Yeah. You probably need some drill bits for your birthday.
Probably.
So.
Okay. Okay, well, I'll try the pilot hole thing and see if we can't get that to work first. So much for.
So I'm not gonna lie to you. It's probably gonna be faster for you to run over to Ace and grab drill bits than it is for you to try and do it the other way.
Okay, well, these aren't. So your opinion on cutting out that top part is correct. It needs to be because while I was looking at it and I was talking to the crowd, I'm realizing I can't put any string through here because I don't have any drill bits long enough that are skinny enough.
Yeah.
So, because if I wanted to get through there, I would have to use, I don't even think that one would work. Let's see. So, nope, that one won't work. And neither would that one.
I don't think you have a drill bit that'll get through there.
I don't. So I've got to recut these anyways.
Okay.
And I think 7/16. That's not in there. Interesting. I think it needs to be done in the birch this next time because which I told the crowd this already, but I'm getting a lot of things like this, and then there's a lot of tear out. So this one here that has this blowout, this is the side that would be the nicest.
Yeah.
But it's got a lot of tears. But then the side that I have to use as the front has a lot of little spikes all the way around. And I think the sanded ply just isn't going to work. But yeah, anyways, okay. Well, we tested a couple of things. We tried a few things. I just don't think this is going to work properly, so.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Unfortunately. Okay, well, I guess I need to clean off my CNC machine and try and cut some stuff.
Learning has occurred.
I know, right? Thank you for watching me learn.
Alright, cool.
So, well, thanks. Love you.
Yeah, love you too.
Bye. Okay, well, we learned something. And I think that at some point I am going to, I think these ones are duds. However, what we are going to do is we're going to test the theory really quick about doing a smaller bit. We're going to try that one, see if it works. Pilot hole. I just kind of want to see on the sanded ply if it works or not. And kind of go from there. I mean, it worked just fine on the 8th when I did it, the 8th bit, but will it work properly this way? See, it just walked again. But if I give it a lot of pressure, it doesn't seem to walk as much. So, let's see. Okay, well, that hole worked. So the question is, should we continue forth on this one? I don't think we're going to actually get to stain these bits. I think I'm gonna have to cut and redesign the design. I still think they're gonna look like controllers even without this part here. So we'll do that. And then we'll work on, first, before we keep doing that actually, we should check to see if this will even go through the hole, which it does. It goes through the hole just nicely. So that is the correct size we need. So I guess today's experiment of timing myself with these isn't going to continue. That's okay. I need to clean off my CNC machine and get a board attached to it after I complete the file. I have quite a few of these that I want to cut. I'm hoping that at some point this weekend I can do that. But for now, I think I'm going to clean up a little bit and go clean my house. It needs it, right? I thank you for joining me today in this trial and error and learning something new. I mean, yeah, like everybody learns something, right? You learn something new all the time. I do not know it all. So if you come on here and you're like, well, this is what you have to do all the time, like, I'm still learning, I'm still trying. That's the whole point. But eventually I do want to try and get these up on my Etsy shop and sell them. So we'll see what happens. But thanks for joining me, and we will see you guys hopefully tomorrow. Maybe we'll cut some CNC stuff. Though tomorrow, if I do cut on the CNC, I will keep the volume off, only because it is very loud. Plus I have my dust collector and everything. And when that's all done, then I'll turn it back on, the volume, so that way we can chit chat. But we'll see you guys all tomorrow. Have a great and fabulous rest of your day.